What if I told you players have discovered a brand new way to play NBA 2K25? A way that allows tall ball handlers to move freely, fluently, and ISO yet again like back in old 2Ks. A way that has defenders collapsing to their knees, begging for mercy. And to make this even crazier, these clips are on a build with 66 speed with ball, meaning he has no lightning launch badge. And in today's video, I got in touch with the man who has mastered this playstyle, and he's gonna teach us all the secrets. What if I told you could be winning up to 1,000 times your cash just by using your sports knowledge? Well, you're gonna wanna check out the sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is simple. First, you gotta select your sport, then select the category within that sport, then select your players and decide if they're gonna go more or less than the predictions in those categories. The more picks you get right, the more money you make. And there's never been a better time to sign up. With promotions like Flex Friday and Taco Tuesday going on, PrizePicks is always doing something to make your experience more enjoyable. PrizePicks is available in over 30 states, and if you use my code to sign up for PrizePicks today, they will give you $50 in free play when you place your first $5 lineup. Age restrictions apply. Please play responsibly. Thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Y'all know my favorite builds on 2K are tall ball handlers, the point forward, the LeBron-ish type of builds. And Glock 19 has been playing with this style of play since September. He's found a way to move fluently on a big ball handler in NBA 2K25. You guys know one of the biggest complaints around the community is that unless you're a small guard, you can't really move. You can't burst. You can't change directions. Everything feels clunky, but not this dude. This man, Glock 19, has mastered how to move, how to ISO, how to dribble on these tall ball handlers in NBA 2K25. As I said, he's been doing this since the game came out, so he has truly put the time in to master how to play this way, and it is not easy. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all gonna see me playing this way in this video. It is not easy. It takes a lot of practice, but check this out. The thing that really makes this glitchy is look at the top right corner. There is no lightning launch badge required, meaning you do not need to put up your speed with ball to play this way, allowing you to go in the builder and really create some demigod type of builds because you're saving so many attributes without having to put up the speed with ball. But check this out. I hopped into my court with Glock 19, the man himself, and he was labbing me up. He was getting me right. He was teaching me basically how to ISO on the tall players 101, the ABCs of how to move. And I was starting to get it a little bit. I'm gonna leave the link to Glock 19's channel down in the description. If y'all want full tutorials, full gameplays from him, definitely go check him out. One of the most unique players on NBA 2K25. But if y'all want to see me and Glock team up and run double ISO on our no speed with ball builds, make sure y'all get this video to 5,000 likes and we will make that happen. But without further ado, let's check out this new no speed with ball LeBron James build. Now, you know we had to start it right with the throwback Miami Heat squad, the Big Three, the Heatles, whatever you want to call it. We're facing a team that's 30-11, so decent little competition to start this thing off. But we got the lineup of Ray Allen, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Shane Battier, and Chris Bosh, the throwback Miami Heat team. Let's get into this. Now, I love these big builds because you really can do it all. You can rebound, you can defend, you can play make, you can do all that, but you gotta master how to dribble. And I certainly haven't mastered it like Glock, but the little lessons he gave me and watching his tutorials, I definitely picked some things up. Hit the behind the back into the explosive behind the back on the first possession with a chance to ISO in the half court, and we're moving decent. But now we're gonna hit the little glitchy basic escape spam into the meter dunk. We're moving pretty good for our first time on the build. You see, we can burst, we can move. We're hitting Ray Allen on the wrap. He's pulling up. Now, because you are a bigger player and you have to dribble a certain way to be able to burst, I feel like it's definitely more viable on the 1s and 2s court because you have more space. But even in 5v5, playing as kind of like the lockdown defender type of role, but also being able to ISO, get out on a break and things like that, I feel really good because I'm not gonna lie, this build, in terms of attacking the basket, is an absolute monster. In terms of being on the fast break, it's an absolute monster. Defensively, I am so athletic, and my player is huge, 6'8" max wingspan, can rebound, can get steals, can block shots. It really is like a do-it-all demigod type of build. I mean, just look how we're moving, man. playing the lane, hitting D-Wade, pulling up from 3. He's knocking it down. We got a little 11-point lead, but it's more about what we're doing on the build because, you know, if you would have told me earlier in the year, like playing with no lightning launch badge, I'd be like, man, I'm going to be moving like a slug, but look I do not look slow at all. I am bulldozing people going to the basket. And like I said, to be able to move like how Glock moves, it takes a ton of practice. I make a lot of mistakes still, and I've been practicing this for about a week now. It definitely takes time to get used to playing. It is different, and it is, you know, if you're messing up the timing of things, it's going to look real clunky. But when you get it down, it's like a completely new way to play 2K. And the thing about this 2K, I feel like it really lacks variety in the gameplay. So being able to play like this, I mean, look, we got 26 points at halftime. We're cooking. And look at the efficiency. You love to see the efficiency. But it's really like a new way to play 2K. It adds variety, and it's like a new challenge for me in terms of trying to be able to move in a way that I'm not used to moving. Like when you start watching the tutorials, one thing you're going to see is like essentially a lot of times to get good bursts on the big players. This guy's quitting now. He's getting destroyed. That's my matchup, by the way. They're going to end up switching it, I think, and putting somebody else on me. But look at the, oh my goodness. Like, bro, this build is so much fun to play on. I cannot lie. But like I was saying, it's almost like the opposite logic of what you're used to when you're playing 2K. Like when you want to burst on 2K, you're supposed to pull the right trigger, right? You're supposed to pull turbo because it gives you a better launch. But on the big builds, Glock is telling me is like you got to like recalculate your brain, because to get the good burst out of the escape and things like that, you got to release the turbo button. Like you want to burst without holding right trigger. So it's like the opposite, pulling up from 3 off the quick stop. We're doing it all, baby. We're doing it all. But it's like the opposite of everything you've been programmed to do on 2K. So it definitely takes some time, but it's a nice challenge. And once you get it down, it's definitely very, very satisfying. And like I said, it's just my favorite type of build to play on. The big ball handlers, you know, the do-it-all builds. Like I could low-key run point guard, lockdown. Look, I'm grabbing rebounds over our center and power forward. I can guard the ball. I can guard off the ball. I can bulldoze through people and go meter dunk and contact lob and shoot threes and mid-ranges and post up. And it's just, I just love being able to do it all on 2K. I'm not going to lie. And that's why I always like playing on the bigger ball handler, like point forward-ish, LeBron-ish type of builds. But look at 49 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and a block in game number 1. Game number 2, I'm going to be honest, I'm even more satisfied with this game than game 1 for a multitude of reasons. I said I like to do it all. We did absolutely everything in this game. Look at, missed the layup, grabbed the rebound, kick it out, Bosch pulling up in the mid-range, he's knocking it down. This is a game that really signifies, because I don't have to put up my speed with ball, it gives me extra attributes, which allows me to put up attributes in other places that I wouldn't have been able to. So it really makes the build much more well-rounded. If I needed to put the speed with ball up high, you know, that's using a lot of attributes. But now we could stand and dunk. We could play in the post. We got on-ball defense. Like I said, you could do everything. And not having to put up the speed with ball, but still being able to move quickly definitely helps. The one thing I will say is bringing the ball up the court, like off the inbounds. You see, sometimes you're a little bit slow, but if you can find space to do that blowout dribble, you can get the ball up the court, no problem. And then because you're so tall, you only need a sliver of space. Like anytime you hit the snatch back or quick stop, if you have a sliver of space, you shoot it, it's going to be open. You're shooting over, literally shooting over people, because nobody's out there really guarding ball on a 6'8", but we are, you know? So it's like we're running ball on a 6'8", and we're guarding ball on a 6'8". We got the long arms. Now look at, we got 9, 3, and 6 at half, and you're probably like, why are you more satisfied with this? You just had a 50-point game. Just watch what we do in the second half. We literally start to just take the game over in, and not just scoring, but in all aspects. We're talking playmaking, rebounding, defense. We're doing it all in the second half. All right, so check it out. You're going to see those stats in the top right corner continue to climb, and you're going to see the scoreboard continue to climb. That lead is going to continue to get bigger. Check it out on the break. Open 3. You already know the color. Put on that Jarrett Culver, or now, season 6, they just dropped T-Mac. Try out that T-Mac. The jump shot's going to be consistent even with low shooting ratings. Now as we bring it up the court, Bosch is going to cut, Wade is going to replace his corner. The sweats and Pro-Am call it a Fifi. If you did not know, now you know. But check this out, another rebound. We're going to push it up in transition. We're going to find Dwayne Wade in the corner, that LeBron James D-Wade connection. He's going to wait out the jump and then get on that rim. Dwayne Wade, LeBron, I mean, they're one of the funnest duos to watch in NBA history, man. Like, they were just so electric out in transition, throwing each other lobs. I remember them destroying my Lakers on Christmas Day. They were throwing lobs off the glass to each other. I mean, it was a rough day to be a fan of the purple and gold. I ain't gonna lie. But look, pulling up from three. They're so worried about the interior scoring of this build that they end up just leaving you open on the perimeter. Another rebound. We're real close to that triple-double, and we still got 2.5 minutes to play. Check this out. Off the crossover. He is a monster attacking that basket, man. He really is. Another rebound over the other team's center, I think that was. Another rebound there. We got 25, 11, and 9. Another steal. We're doing it on both ends of the court. I told you, attacking the basket. I mean, he takes me out of the dunk, and I still make the layup. I mean, listen, when you're 6'8" max wingspan, I guess you could just go up with anything. It'll go in. But there's the assist to get the triple-double. The stat line of this game, it's not the 50-point performance like we had in game one, but just overall, I feel like the stat line was just super satisfying. Look at this thing, man. Look at what we did. 27, 12, 11, 5 steals, and 2 blocks, dominating the game in all facets. But like I said, if you want to see me and Glock team up, make sure you get this video to 5,000 likes. And in the meantime, go check out this Nikola Jokic build. I think you're going to like it.